guys, what's up? It's Jonathan Overstreet. You listen to Potholes to Paved Roads. Alright, I'm trying to get set up. Just a second. La-da-dee, la-da-da, la-da-dee. Alright, get my GPS set up so I can go deliver some pizzas. Alright. So, what has everybody been up to? I hope life is good. I know life is beautiful here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Just delivering pizza, making some money. That's about it right now. You know, now that I say it like that, it sounds a little boring, but it's not, guys. Life is good. Anyway, here's what I wanted to talk about for a few minutes today. Something that's been on my mind a lot, and that's this. I think I'm a Generation Xer, but they've changed the name so many different times for us that I have heard that I may be actually a millennial. As much as I complain about millennials, I might actually be one. So no more complaining about millennials, because I think I might be one. So I was just thinking about the difference between growing up now and when I was a kid. Now guys, I'm going to say some things in this episode that I don't know how to put it. I don't know, I'm not real big about putting too much of my business out there, but here, I'm just going to be blunt. If you guys like me to be real, well, whether you like me to be real or not, you don't have much choice, because I'm a fairly real kind of guy. So I'm pretty real when it comes to talking about things. And I've heard often that sometimes I say a little too much. But look, today I remember a day in time growing up to where if I wanted to see something naked, I had to wait till late at night. You know, we had Cinemax in our house when I was a kid growing up, and it's all because I can remember it like it was yesterday. The cable guy comes out to our house, right? And he's putting in our cable. I think I was around 10 or 11, maybe 12 years old. I can't really remember all that well. But he comes out to put cable out, and they used to actually have to climb up a telephone pole and hook stuff up and all that. You know, I know times have changed. It's not like that now. But my dad is a really sociable kind of guy. And I guess he, you know, kind of socialized with that cable guy long enough to where the cable guy was like, you know what? You know, I'm just going to give you guys an open box. I'm going to give you some free channels. And so he gave us HBO and Cinemax. I think that's the only two we got for free, if I remember. But guys, this was back in a time where I think there was maybe 20 or 25 channels on television. That was it. There wasn't this, it just wasn't this tons and tons and tons of channels like there are now. So, my dad, you know, talks to this guy, gives us an open, he called it an open box, to where we could have these free channels, right? Well, it didn't take me too long to figure out what kind of movies came on Cinemax late at night. And I used to stay up and watch them, guys, and that was my first exposure to pornography. And it was at that point that I just started I just kind of got almost obsessed with it. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I watched that stuff a lot, and I struggled a lot. And the whole reason for my conversation today is it's not like that now. You don't have to wait up late at night for some nasty channel to play movies. It's right at the tip of your fingers. It's on every phone, it seems. It's on every... If you can get to a Google browser, or you can get to a not Firefox, but like Bing or anything like that, any kind of browser, there's a chance you could stumble upon pornography. And it's really sad, and I can't understand this time we're living in now, because kids are exposed to that so early. And it's terrible, guys. It's It's not good. There's nothing good that comes out of that. Because in real life, let's put it like this. There's some Christian guys out there that may possibly be listening to this podcast, and they're thinking to themselves, oh, when I get married, things will be fine. I can have sex anytime I want. That's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. There might be times when you feel like it and she don't, or she feels like it and you don't. And it happens. It's people are different. People want different things at different times. And it's crazy the time we're living in where all that stuff is just right at your fingertips. And the devil, the enemy, has made it so easy for us to fall. It's a different time completely than when I was growing up. So part of the reason I've been thinking about this a little bit lately is because of something I heard Dave Ramsey say on his show, which is it's the facts. It's not an exaggeration. It is how it is right now. What he said is true, and what he said was the number one fastest growing addiction in the United States right now is pornography. Number two, followed closely in second. Well, actually it's not real close, but in second is gambling. Online gambling is becoming huge. But let me tell you guys, pornography is something that gets your mind wrapped up in a fantasy world, and you start looking at the opposite sex as just that, just a sexual object. You look at them as something that you try to fulfill these fantasies in your mind, and it's just not right, guys. It's not right, because sex is something that was created for us to be able to enjoy between a married couple. That's some of the benefits of being married is loving that person and being intimate with that person, because there's a lot of difference between the intimacy of a man and the intimacy of a woman. When women think intimacy, they think cuddling and just talking and holding each other and holding each other close and doing those types of things. When a man thinks intimacy, he thinks sex. That's what a man thinks about when he thinks about intimacy. And then there's these variations of sex that almost become, they become perversions. They become, it gets to a point where it's not the way it was designed. Because, I'll put it like this, I don't think we were designed as people to be homosexual. And I don't mean any offense to anybody out there who might be a homosexual, but I don't agree with your lifestyle. But just because I don't agree with your lifestyle don't mean I'm just going to bash you and tell you, hey, you're going to hell for living like that, because I don't know about you guys, but I've never seen someone treat someone in that way and that person say, you know what, I'm going to give my life to God and I'm going to become a Christian. That's not how it works. When you treat those type of people badly, when you treat them awfully, when you undermine them and judge them and make them feel like they're less than human because of the way they feel like they've been designed, that's not right. And I'm not going to treat people like that. I had a friend one time when I used to work for Quick Trip, and he pulled me aside one time and he told me, he said, I got to say something real to you, man. I need to let you know that out of every Christian that I've ever met, you are by far the most different and the least judgmental Christian I've ever met, because I know without a shadow of a doubt that you don't agree with my lifestyle, and you've told me you don't agree with my lifestyle, but you've never treated me any differently just because you don't agree with my lifestyle. And guys, that meant the world to me for this guy to say that. And he was a bisexual. So he liked men and women, which that's a whole nother ball game. That's even more confusing than just being homosexual or being straight. But I'm just going to put it like this. We've got to love people. And because I've been through so much crap in my life involving pornography. I have never cheated on my wife. Never got anywhere close to cheating on my wife. Never had the idea to cheat on my wife. But I have watched pornography since I've been married, and my wife has caught me a couple of times, and I've almost lost my marriage. It's been rough. There's been some times I've made some huge mistakes and made big screw-ups. And guys, my wife has loved me through this. I thought she was going to leave me, especially the last time it happened a few years ago. But my wife is the most awesome person in the world, and she stayed with me, and she endured with me, and she helped me get through this pain and through this strife, because it's not just me. I came from a family where my dad was addicted to those things too. So I came from it. It's been my legacy. And I talked a few episodes about breaking legacies. Well, that's something that me and my brother have both struggled with in the past, but we have both conquered, and we're beating back at that. We're coming back against that. We're saying, no, I'm not going to be another statistic. Because, look, there's a difference between my marriage and a marriage that is not a Christian marriage. Because a lot of non-Christian people, not only do they not see anything wrong with pornography, I've had friends in the past who actually would bring pornography into their marriage. Like, together they would watch things like that. Well, in my household, that doesn't work. And that's not going to work. And we're doing things differently. We've made a decision. But if you're somebody that's addicted to stuff like that, I'm just going to tell you that the longer you stay addicted to that, the harder it's going to be to break that and to get away from that. I had a pastor tell me one time in a sermon, he said that it's almost like there's two dogs inside of you fighting. You got your spirit dog and you got your flesh dog. I know this sounds mumbo jumbo to some people that don't understand this kind of stuff, but just hear me out. You've got a war raging inside of you. You got part of you that wants to do the right thing, and you got part of you that does not want to do the right thing. It's like the devil and the angel on the shoulder. That's the best way I can equate it. And if you want to know which dog is going to be bigger and win the fight between those two dogs, it's the one you feed the most. So if you feed yourself with that stuff, it's getting bigger. He's getting bigger. You're that dog inside of you that wants to do everything wrong, he's getting bigger and badder than that other dog. So what do you do to remedy it? Well, what do you do to get away from it? What do you do to break the chains of bondage? Well, for one thing, I've made a decision that, let's say when it comes to the computer, I don't get on the computer in my room if one of my kids or my wife or somebody like that isn't in the room with me. I just don't. There's no point. I'm just opening up a door of opportunity for me to do something absolutely stupid when I do that. So in my house, you can ask my kids, there are very, very, very few times that my children will come up to my door and my door will be locked and my wife will be gone and I will be the only adult there and that door is locked. That doesn't happen. Unless I'm in the bathroom taking a shower or a bath. I mean, that's a little different. But you've got to set up these safeguards. You got to set up these guardrails that keep you from falling off, because it is a struggle. It is hard. It's not easy. It's a part of you that I'll be honest, the phase I'm going through right now is this. I want to get my body and myself, my mind, my spirit, I want to get to a place where I don't want to do that stuff anymore. And that's where I struggle now, because I still have my body sometimes that wants to do that. I can feel these urges. I can feel these pulling me away. Like sometimes I'm extremely distracted when I'm thinking about that, or when I'm just being beckoned by that to go do that, or to consume something that's going to cause me to think about that. So guys, you got to be careful. You got to set up guardrails. You got to set up safety parameters around yourself and the things you do. So guys, the moral of the story is this. As you're going through your life and you're driving on the road of life, you got to watch out for the pothole of pornography. You've got to, to be honest with you, the pothole of pornography is not really a pothole. It's a sinkhole, guys. It'll swallow your entire car. It'll mess you up. It'll destroy your mind. It'll cause you to think things that are not natural. It'll cause you to... Think about it like this, guys. In life, just about anything in moderation can be good. Because the feelings that you feel when you want to have sex, those feelings are natural. They come naturally. They come to your mind naturally. They come to your body. You're geared that way. You're made to want that at times. But you got to think about it like this. The right thing at the wrong time is the wrong thing. But the right thing at the right time is the right thing. It's good. When you and your wife or you and your spouse come together and the Bible says that two become one flesh, yeah, that's what it's talking about. It's not just talking about in the spirit that you're becoming one before God. It's not just that. It's sexual too. It is. And so think about it like this. When you're driving down the road and you see that pothole of pornography come creeping up on you, I mean, you grab the wheel and you swerve as fast as you can without flipping your car. So that pothole of pornography, that sinkhole of pornography, don't let it get a hold of you, guys. And it's primarily men. There are women, believe it or not, guys, there are women that have problems with this too. But it's primarily men. Because men are visual. Men are visually stimulated much more than women are. It's just something inside of our DNA, something inside of us. You see, and one of the other big differences that I've seen between men and women, and because of the things I read a book a few years ago that was really great about this subject. It was called Every Young Man's Battle. Wonderful book, guys. If you've never read it, you should read it, especially if you're a man. But the thing is this. So one of the big differences between men and women is this. Normal women, well, I would say most women, or a normal woman wants to be with one man for the rest of her life. Most men want to be with as many women as they can for the rest of their life. So guys, we're geared way differently. I know that. I understand that. I know that women are different than men when it comes to these things. But guys, this is a chain of bondage. Just like I talk about debt being bondage, this is bondage. This is something that can destroy you as a person. Because I'm telling you, if you don't get it out of your life now, if you don't say now is the time to quit, now is the time to stop, talk to somebody. Get help. Call a counselor. Find a pastor, find a coach, find a leader, find somebody that you know that don't agree with that lifestyle and talk to them. Don't let another day go by that you're struggling with this. I'm telling you, man, you got to get it under control, because if you don't, it will destroy you. It will destroy you. So on the road of life, watch out for that pothole of pornography. All right, guys, thank y'all for listening today. And I got one more thing to say before we go. And that's this. I want you as a man, this is for the men. Guys, put yourself in your wife's shoes for just a second. I want you to think about it. What in the world do you think is going through your wife's mind when she knows that you have an addiction to pornography? When she knows that you're looking at things you shouldn't be looking at, you're doing things you shouldn't be doing, what do you think goes through her mind? Guys, because this pothole of pornography that can destroy you, it also can emotionally and spiritually, it can destroy your spouse. It can destroy your wife, because she's going to be constantly comparing herself to these images that you are consuming, to these videos, these things you're looking at that you do not need to be looking at. She's going to be constantly comparing herself. So, guys, if you want to go right ahead and destroy your spouse's self-worth, your spouse's self-esteem, if you want to destroy that, yeah, just keep right ahead. Just go right ahead. Keep looking at that stuff. Keep doing those things you shouldn't be doing. Because I'm telling you, you might think she don't know, but I'm telling you guys, women have a sixth sense. They have a sixth sense about this. They do. And she knows. Believe me, guys, she knows. I know that's a crazy way to end a podcast, but guys, I just wanted to be real with you today. I just wanted to shoot you straight. I didn't want to beat around the bush. I didn't want to just sugarcoat it. I didn't want it to make it sound like I'm not trying to be spiritual with these things. But guys, this is a spiritual message. This is spiritual. This is something that you have got to change. We don't have a choice. And if you want the next generation to be better than this one, you're not going to hand this over as a legacy. Your legacy is going to be breaking this. Your legacy is going to be destroying these chains of bondage. And guys, one last thing. The Bible says, take every thought captive and make it. Conform it to what God wants for you. And if it's something you're thinking about you shouldn't be thinking about, cast it out, man. Don't think about it. Think about something else. Listen to a sermon. Listen to a praise and worship song. Heck, listen to some Tom Petty. Goodness. You guys rock. I'll see you next time. This is Jonathan Overstreet. Potholes to paved roads.